Yo buddy, what's going on my fellow trainers? Veteran X here, and let's talk about the next upcoming event within Pokemon Pocket. So the Genetic Apex Emblem Event number 2 starts on December 9th and it runs until December 16th. So players will have 1 week to try to get all of these nice emblems for their profiles. Now, if you take a look at these emblems, you have to get a certain amount of wins in a row. And you might think getting 3, 4, and 5 wins in a row is easy, but trust me, it definitely isn't as simple as it seems. But I'm going to share a couple of decks today that can try to help you win these challenges as well. So the first deck we'll discuss is a fire type build which features Arcanine EX and Charizard EX. So if you take a look at the ratios here, we have 5 basic Pokemon, 2 Charmanders, a Growlithe, and 2 Moltres EXs. So we're running 1 Arcanine line because sometimes you need that little extra speed. Getting a stage 2 online with Charizard can be slow a little bit, so if you're able to draw into your Arcanine line even earlier, then you can use that Pokemon instead to dish out damage, and then you can start to build up in the Charizard if need be. Also, this deck has seen a shit ton of success in tournaments, so expect to win a lot of games with this. And you're probably going to run into a lot of mirror matches during this event as well, so just be prepared for that. The next deck we'll go over is one of my all-time favorites within Pokemon Pocket, and it features Alakazam and Exeggutor EX, baby. So the goal of this deck is to get Exeggutor into your active zone, so that way it can be a big tanky wall that can also dish out damage, while you have your Abra line sitting in the back drawing up energy until you go into Alakazam. And what Alakazam can do, it can lay the beat down on a lot of meta decks, especially if they have to take a long time to ramp up. If those Pokemon have a lot of energy on it, Psychic from Alakazam is going to do a shit ton of damage when you punch them in the mouth with that move. I love this deck to pieces, and like I said, it's one of my favorites. This is probably going to be in my rotation once this event rolls around as well. Another really fun deck that you can take into this event is the Arbok Assassin build, which features Arbok, of course, and Weezing. And with the piece of tech we're running this deck, it's the new Jigglypuff that came out and Wigglytuff EX. The goal of this deck is if you have Coughing or Weezing in your active zone, you can use this to spread poison and stall and tank hits while you build up your Arbok line or even your Wigglytuff line, you know, as a backup, and try to trap your opponent, piss them off with poison and sleep. And you know, just play those mind games with your opponent, and then once you get them in that right moment, you bam, you hit them right on top of the head with a Sabrina card, you trap them with Arbok, and then you pick them off. I absolutely love playing this deck, and the thing is, if you're going to play the Arbok deck, then you'll need to have some level of knowledge of your opponents and their strats, what kind of routes they want to try to run and what their gameplay is, so that way you can interrupt it as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying that it's required, but you know, a little extra game knowledge does help. You know, sometimes you gotta hit a little 4D chess move on your opponents, and hey, getting those victories is gonna definitely come in clutch, I promise you that. And of course, you already know that we're gonna have a Misty build here. So this deck runs 4 basic Pokemon, 2 Staryu and 2 Articuno EXs. That means you have a guaranteed 50% chance to open either Staryu or Articuno within your opening turn. And then of course you got 2 copies of Starmie EX. The reason why this deck sees so much success is because of Misty, right? But not only because of that card, but this deck is really fast. Starmie EX only needs 2 energy and it's off to the races. It can start putting 90 pieces right on your opponent's head top without any worries. This deck also runs 1 copy of Old Amber because remember, we're only running 4 basic Pokemon in this deck. So Old Amber acts as a free body, quote unquote, and it can take a hit, and also you can discard it with no cost. So if it's in your active zone, you can just discard it, get rid of it, and then you can play another Pokemon from your bench. So it's a very versatile piece of tech. You may see a couple mirror matches of this deck on ladder as well, and hey, you might be able to find some success. Another deck I want to show off here is the Electric Spike, baby, which features Pikachu EX, Zapdos EX, and 1 copy of Jolteon. So all of these Pokemon within this deck have a role. Pikachu EX, of course, that's your fast electric type Pokemon. 2 energy, Circle Circuit can be live, and it can be even stronger depending on how many electric Pokemon you have on the bench. Jolteon is a very nice piece of tech because only for 2 energy, Pin Missile could either do 0 damage or it could do 160 damage. It feels so damn good when Jolteon goes off. And we got a few bonus decks to show off too. We have, of course, the standard Mewtwo deck. We have 2 copies of Mewtwo. You got the baby Mewtwo. You got your Gardevoir line. And then you can run any kind of tech options you want within this deck as well. Another bonus deck we have is the Venusaur EX deck. So you know Exeggutor, that's your tank. He's going to be up there dishing damage and absorbing damage. And then you got Venusaur right down the back soaking up that precious energy. Man, it's going to be a very tough time. Trust me. And then we have this fighting type deck which features Primate. I'm not going to lie. I've been sleeping on Primate for an extremely long time. And this Pokemon hits so damn hard. And we have the Golbat sprinkled in here. And you can use this to help against those Mewtwo matches or any other psychic deck builds. Oh my goodness, I can't wait until this event drops. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out my other Pokemon Pocket videos. I have a bunch of guides here on screen of different decks. If you enjoy energy and fun within Pokemon Pocket, then I think you'll like the videos. And now, with all of that out of the way, get out there and let's go play some freaking video games.